Hey guys, this is Paul, aka Internet, for I've Poker VIP Coaching. I'm coming at you guys with my second video. Again, this is gonna be a heads up video, and this time it's gonna be slightly different. This is again gonna be a live commentary, but it's an very excited live commentary because it is actually part of a session I played. I didn't like select a player that I played a heads up against and recorded that. This was actually during my 10 to 12 tabling session that I found someone who was willing to play heads up at 3-6. And we've been playing 4 tables, and I had action on the side tables, so this was all very well exciting to me and very quick and fast-paced action. So, want to just give you a quick warning that you'll see how I play when no one's watching, basically. I just decided that it was very entertaining, so that's why started recording during a normal session, and that's that. Want to give a quick warning, I guess, that there's a little bit of explicit language in the video. So, yeah. I hope you'll enjoy it and have fun. Oh, hey there guys, this is Internet. Right now I'm playing a normal session of mine, and I'm stumbling across this one opponent called Newlander. As you can tell, playing 4 tables heads up against him right now. We've been playing for like 20 minutes so far, and the match has been insanely crazy. We've been getting stacks in pre-flop with like ace-9 versus pocket 2s and all that good stuff, and he's incredibly aggressive, crazy. And I'm also playing some more tables on the side, so I'm not 100% focused on the game, and so I know I'm not playing my best game. I'm just grinding this guy basically, and Jesus Christ, it's going really crazy. And yeah, as you can see in this hand, he was like we're like very deep. He 3-bets 2 barrels. Oh, he turned a flush draw, so that's not too crazy. Maybe I should have bet river, I don't know. Yeah, so I'll do some live commentary on what's happening, but I can promise you it's not going to be my best because this is just insanity. 4 tables against a crazy maniac, and but I'll try my best to deliver some good content. So he 4-bets like he does 16% range. Oh god. I don't even know what's going on, but I flopped the world, so that's pretty good. EC bets, question is raise or not. I think I don't want to raise, but maybe I should. I don't think he's like betting flop with the worst hand to get it in too often, so I think my best option is just to call. Hope I hit by the river, so it's really easy. Where he just goes all in, that's totally fine with me. Ace king, or that's kind of funny. Yeah, so that's just how crazy the game is. Like 4-bet pot, jack high versus queen high. It's just kind of absurd. Here I would usually check raise with my top pair, but we're kind of deep, and I don't have any like real nut potential for the upcoming streets. Like, okay, no, I do have nut potential, but it's kind of unlikely that I'll make like a nut straight or a nut flush, so I don't want to blow up the pot. Call turn. He's been I don't even know actually, but it feels like he's always been betting flop, betting turn, and then checking back river. But he's also had a lot of pots where he checked back turn. However, one thing that I know is that whenever he checks back a street, like when he checks back flop or turn, he's folding to a bet on the next street. Like, he's never checking back strong hands. Whenever he checks, he's giving up. He's never like slow play checking back a set. At least I haven't seen that. And I mean, that's what a lot of people do. Not a lot of people like check back top pair on the flop or like check back 2 pair on the turn. But yeah, people just don't do that, and he doesn't do that. So, oh yeah, well, I'm very thrilled about my jacks here. I've been going to 150 with the 4-bet sizing, which is 2.5. Well, seems pretty reasonable. And he's probably gonna have like king queen, and then we're flipping again. He's been had a kickstart on me this game. Like, when we first started out playing, he won like a lot of pots, but since then I've come back a bit, and well, that's sort of where we are right now. And it's 900 to call, which is like frightening usually, but I actually I think I'm like 55% against his range here, or like 80%. Jesus fuck. You should never, like, get in that many big blinds with 8-4. It's just, if you have king 6, I'm like, okay, whatever, but 4-9 is just not a hand you should be getting in. Okay, here 3-bet, c-bet. He's always c-betting so big, which is not bad, but I kind of don't like it because I like to float flops, and when he makes it so big, we can't really float. Oh, don't tell me you're leaving because you just jammed for 8. Don't do that. Don't. Okay, here you see bet check back turn, so I know I'm pretty much good because a flush draw barrel its turn, a straight draw barrel its turn, a king barrel its turn, so my hand is good. Problem, I cannot value bet because like ace high doesn't call, I would assume, and he might have a 6, so I think this is a check, and if he bets, I think I'm calling. Oh, don't tell me you're leaving, I just started recording, that's a pity. Did he say anything? Probably not. Maybe he's just smoking. Taking a smoke. Oh, that was so insane. I don't even know if I'm up or down. Like I said in the beginning, he had like aces, kings. He was like 4-betting every hand, and then I jam whatever, and he has aces, kings. I'm like, what the fuck? Ace 9 not looking so hot. So he happened to have Jack 10 there. Okay, I'm gonna pause the recording. Maybe he comes back, and then I'll continue. I'm back, because he's back. Oh my god. He's been gone for like just 2 minutes before the timeout, sit out timeout counter kicks in. Okay, wonderful. Now we can continue this. Yeah, pretty standard flop float in a 4-bet pot, I think. Make the nuts. Oh yeah, I really can't comment on everything that's happening. It's just kind of ridiculous. Chicks back here. I wouldn't jam at 10. I would. Oh god, I have to call this. It's gonna have trips. Well, I should be betting here though. If I had a 10, I'd pot it probably. If I had a flush, I'd check. If I have ace high, I usually check. Pretty sure this is a bet. Yeah. He's gonna call ace high. No, don't snap call ace high. Okay. Well, I don't mind, I guess. Okay. Well, I don't really expect him to c-bet ace high and then check turn call the river. I mean, he doesn't really beat anything on the river. Well, like, he shouldn't at least. No. I'm really inclined to bet big here, but I won't. Keep in mind, guys, I have tables on the side open as well, so that's kind of annoying. But, okay, so there's some guy joining. Gets the green dot. He's been check calling here. I mean, just standard bet, right? Hope he's gonna have a flush and go for the thin value raise. I usually don't call small blind versus button opens. Not with hands like that. But the big blind is obviously, not a very good player, and actually I'm gonna lead here for value against the fish. Kind of more or less doesn't really do anything against the regular. But I expect him to check back flop 3-way unless he has something. So I really want to bet for value against the fish. 10-9, I could call or fold. Actually, he's been 2-barreling a lot, so I don't really like check calling. I'm just gonna raise it. Does he have any more tables open? I'm just checking the lobby right now. Maybe we can get a 4th heads-up table going there. Doesn't look like he has. Well, obviously I have to call, and now I think I'm actually gonna jam because these guys, if he like has a pair, he's gonna call, and like a 10 checks back but certainly calls, and a queen probably calls, and if he has a straight, he might check back but call, and if he has a straight, he might also jam over bet. But yeah, I guess I managed a pretty good suck out there with the turn and river. But I'm not gonna complain about that. Here he 3-bets checks like Maritas that he's extremely weak. Like I said earlier, whenever he checks a street as the aggressor, he's extremely weak. So my bet size in these spots has been like 1/4 pot, and like, what is he gonna do about it, right? Because if he only ever checks his super weak hands, then also stack the fish and get the flame heads up again. That's pretty good. And then once he check calls, I know his range is weak. So what do you do against a weak range? Well, you start betting really big. That's usually the best exploit. So unless he's like still playing something, this is like a really fucked up spot for him right now. He's gonna go all in, which I don't understand. Like, if he was slow playing, he should continue doing so, and if he has a weak hand, then why would he go all in? Doesn't make sense. I have an itch that he has like ace 10, ace 9 here, obviously, but I obviously not folding, so that sucks. Yeah. But he shouldn't go all in, he should check all, certainly. Did I manage a 2-outer? Is that 2 or 4? 4 outs. Pretty good. So, he doesn't like me. I'm pretty sure. Here he checks back. Once again, I know best hand. 9x bets turn, flush draws bet turn, straights bet turn. So I know I have a best hand. And in this case, I think I can value bet. So that's just what I'm going to do. Yeah, one thing now that I see he checked jam turn with his ace 10 there. Now, I would actually be bluffing flop turn. I would always jam the river because I know he doesn't have any strong hands in his range. After he, like, check calls. Which is pretty much the reason why, if you do have one of the very few strong hands like a turn 2 pair, you do not want to check jam that. That's just terrible. Well, obviously not terrible like fish terrible, but like terrible in like a high stakes heads up game. Here I'm just gonna call here. I don't know. I'm just gonna fold. Did I minute raise or 3x pre-flop? Because I haven't seen him calling a lot of big blinds, so 6-4 suited kind of surprises me. But whatever. Ace queen 3-bet check call, pretty standard. Turn is, well, pretty bad because there's a lot of straights, but then on the other hand, I do still have my ace high for sure on value, plus the gut shot to the jack, so even if he happens to have, like, you know, a straight, I still have some redraws. The queen do some, I'm very inclined to like check raise turn here, but he's just not been betting turns after he checks back flop. He's just been checking back so often, so here obviously this river is like my best river because I rep ace high that check call flop. Now I get there, so now I'm just gonna pod whenever I have an ace or whenever I have, you know, whatever, like 9-3. I guess I would check 9-3 for showdown. Maybe something weaker like a deuce or something. Which I wouldn't really 3-bet a deuce, but you know. Well, on this river I'm just gonna be betting like almost my entire range except for the couple hands in the middle that I want to show down. He's been 3-betting 35%. I don't know if you can see the HUD in the video or not, so I'm not gonna reference it. And like I said in my first video, I like do not use the HUD heads up very much. I mean, there's a couple numbers I look at, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot of numbers. So he's just 3-betting every table, right? And I just, you know, fold everywhere. I think that's kind of why he keeps 3-betting me, because I fold so much, but I'm trying really hard to call his 3-bets. I think my adjustment should be to fold a couple buttons, like don't open 100%. That's very difficult for me. Like, I just don't remember, like I get my 6-4, I'm just gonna open raise it, I'm not even thinking about it. So that's kind of a leak, but you know, if he 3-bets that much, I can 4-bet more and I can call more, which hasn't been working too well except for the pocket jacks, but that's okay. Like here, the 10 deuce, I should fold this, but I almost would have raised it. So he increased his 3-bet size from now. He used to 3-bet to 3 times my initial raise. Now he's going to like more. He's going to 4 times my initial raise, which is very big. Was a call fold river usually. Not gonna raise anything on the flop, so if he bets river, I'm not like, oh my god, I'm so weak. No, I'm gonna have an ace very often, or like, yeah, very often if I call twice. He checks turn. Now, like, I think I was gonna say I think my hand is the best hand, but he might have kings, queens, jacks, 10s, 9s, 8s. But I think I can make a small value bet. I don't think he's gonna jam kings here for value. Like, that obviously would be pretty ridiculously thin. So I'm just gonna bet either protection bet against like 1 or 2 overcards to my pair, or, you know, if he happens to have a worse 7, it's for value. If he happens to have a worse pair, it's for value. So I think it's a turn value bet. And if he check calls, I'll have to think about the river. But if I want to bet river or not, could go either way. Kind of depends if I like see him check calling kings there or 2-barreling kings. I don't know. Like a passive opponent would be check calling turn with pocket kings, queens, jacks, all that stuff. But an aggressive opponent like him, I would expect to two-barrel those pocket pairs, but you know, we don't know. So he checks back, so obviously I'm gonna bluff now. Here we go for pod value. Did I misclick check? I don't know. No, I didn't. Sometimes software is lagging like half a second or something kind of ridiculous, but what you gonna do? So he 4-bets again, I'm gonna call again. Nothing crazy going on for that top pair, not the best top pair, but you know, not getting away from that one. Do I want to jam flop or no? I'm actually gonna stop and go. What do you have here? Bottom pair, okay. I'm gonna stop and go. Stop and go means I'm gonna check call, donk jam, because if you happen to have flush draw, this line's just so much better because I get it in with like his aces. I get it in. Did I suck out? No. Because if he does have like any heart, I'm flipping on the flop, but if I get it in on a blank turn, I'm actually ahead. And of course, if the turn is a fourth heart, I'm just gonna check fold. So I just increased the equity with which I get my hand in there, and that's pretty good. So like the stop and go on like 3 flush boards if you have a medium strength pair. I just 3-betting so much, it's insane. So here he checks, and well, I was going 25, but no, the pot is a bit bigger, so I'm going 30. And I think he's just gonna like fold, even though this is not really a board I expect to check fold on. I just, based on how he plays, just expect him to fold, and now he doesn't fold, and I think I have no, I think I should be barreling off. However, I don't have any outs. I rep 6-3, couple sets. I think I'm not going to. I think I want to have at least a gut shot to bluff on the turn. So river 9, which is obviously a value bet now. Here I'm gonna check raise, even though this hasn't worked in like forever. Okay, we have a 5th heads up table now. That's insane. Pod, yeah, probably. I mean, queens, jacks, 10s, c-bet, so I think I'm good. Just gonna snap call muck, wonderful. Here, again, I'm just gonna check raise, but he's just not betting in these spots. Like, he's not betting for thin value. It's kind of odd. I'm just gonna have to check raise myself, basically. That's what overbetting is. Check call twice, ace high, check fold river. I hope you guys can follow what I'm saying. Maybe, like, you can't. Sorry. Because, like, I'm always talking about the table where I just think about the table which I'm thinking about, and, you know, that might not be the table where the most recent action has happened. Yeah, so this ace high is actually pretty good for check raise, because I have the flush blocker, and I actually would check raise a flush here, right? I would be. Oh god, I don't know. On the other hand, like, he's not really bet folding much. Just gonna call, actually. I don't know, I have a call feeling. Wrong. King queen shows it down. I think he's not folding a better hand, really. Yeah, we have 5 tables to go now, which I don't usually play 5 heads up tables. So I'm definitely gonna be making a lot of mistakes just because I misread the action, misread my hand, misclick, you know, all the good stuff. This was 3-bet, check, 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 check. He bets river, like I said, in these passive lines of his, he doesn't bet river, so it's really strange that he'd bet here. He's representing pretty much a 10, and I'm just gonna call because what the hell, 10? Just also so small, like, if he had a 10, he could bet bigger, I think, but maybe not. Oh, he had nothing, but why does he not bet turn? He has, like, the 7 is, like, such a good card for him. I think he should be betting turn, but, well, not a big mistake on his part, by any means. Yeah, now he's back to his kind of more standard 3-bet sizing of just 3 times the open, which I have to call. I just can't fold this hand, even though I'm not really a fan of King 8 offsuit. I have to admit that. Off, got shot 2 overcards, pretty easy call. 4 bets. Well, my strategy so far is to call pretty much every 4 bet unless I have a medium pocket pair, in which case I'm jamming. Well, this is kind of too deep to jam, but you know. So I'm also gonna call aces, ace king here. Well, maybe not ace king, but definitely aces and well, all the broadways. Jesus Christ, there's many spots coming up. This one has to be a bet, right? Yeah, just over bet. This one goes check. This one goes check. This one, I don't know. This one you can't see. Oh, so he checks back. I think he's calling ace high, so there's no point in betting my king high. I could bet really big. Like, just pot it, or go all in. But, I don't know, I just don't feel like it. He's gonna have ace high, right? Yeah. Yeah, so he's 4-betting all these hands, and I know he is, but I don't really know what to do. I 5-bet, he like gets an 8-4 offsuit or suited. You just saw that. So I think my strategy is just like lay back, wait for a good hand to get a lot of money. And I mean, I just don't really see a different strategy against someone this crazy, but not. I mean, he's not bad crazy. He's just very crazy. He goes 60 again. His 35% 3-bet seems to be stabilizing a bit. I think I have to call though. Here I called a 3-bet, he checks, so we're gonna go with our small bet. Also works very well with this hand, so it's kinda cute. I will make a bigger flop bet size in some cases, but obviously not like I'll make the small size usually. We're shorter, and I hate folding too tiny 3-bets, but I have to. On the other table, you just like 3 out at the top, but I've been sucking out too, so I can't complain. Backdoor straight, which is the super nuts. No, not backdoor straight, just nut straight. And he can never have nuts, so I'm gonna overbet. And he's been folding to all these overbets, which obviously is fine. So here, check calls. Obviously I have nothing, and he's not gonna fold anything, so. Oh yeah, I have to give that one up. I mean, I represent like an ace, which I usually check on the flop, but maybe not. And I could represent a 4, which I definitely have, but I don't have many 4s, so I can't be bluffing too often. So it's not one of the times I'm bluffing. So here I could rep a queen if I bet. Kind of inclined to, but I'm inclined to think he's not folding, so there's that. He check called a queen X. That's good. He hasn't been doing this before, so it's probably an adjustment, or he's just, you know, well, not adjustment. It's definitely a play he hasn't shown so far. It's the first time I see that he's like not c-betting a top pair type hand, and he obviously has to do that. So him doing that kind of makes me feel bad now, because now I don't have such good reads on his ranges anymore. I let him show down here. I think ace high was too good to be bluffing, so that seems totally reasonable. God. The queen 8, I have the 8 for a little bit backdoor straight. I have the queen of spades for a little backdoor flush, so I'm just going to check min raise this. Because I assume he's opening very wide and c-betting very wide, so he's just got to fold so rarely for this to be plus EV, and you know I can turn a 6, 7, or a spade and continue bluffing. I mean, I can't continue bluffing on this card, but it puts up double flush draw and abundance of straight draws, so I'm not gonna bluff. River blanks, and now I'm gonna pop bet, because well, actually queen high has some showdown value. I don't think I can check call though. This is a very strange spot now. I'm not totally sure what my range is and what his range is. I think my range has a lot of ace-x, which I check min raised, and then a couple busted hands, and then a couple nuts. So I should be betting if he has a lot of sub ace-x hands that are bluff catchers, but he doesn't, so it wouldn't really make sense for me to have a betting range. I should be check raising or check calling here, I think, most of the time. Alright, now he bets, and I'm actually inclined to check call, but I don't think I can because he might be like bluffing king high or just be strange or whatever. Whatever these guys do. I could check raise, that would certainly make sense. I'd like to have a blocker though. I never like making big bluffs without having a blocker. It's just sort of a, well, how do you say, like a rule, I guess. A rule. It's kind of easy. Deuces here sucks, but I call one. I mean, sucks. I say sucks because I have a pair, so pairs are pretty good and hold them. But like any hand he has like king plus 6 odds, so that would be 8 outs. Any hand, like he doesn't even have to have a quote-unquote draw. He can just have 2 random cards and has that many outs. He checks turn. Actually, I'm very inclined to turn this into a bluff. On the other hand, I am gonna float the flop with like worse hands than deuces. Like, I don't know, Jack 10, and I would bluff Jack 10 on the turn, but don't think I want to be bluffing when I have well, you know, a pair. I check down win actually, which is pretty nice. Very fortunate. I'm actually gonna close the tables on this side. It's just way too distracting. I need to focus on this guy. I could potentially rape him for a lot of buy-ins if it goes well. Or he could take me for a couple buy-ins. Ah, what the hell is going on this table? He's just, his bet sizing is off. There's one mistake which he does, which is incorrect bet sizing. It's very difficult to articulate what it is exactly, but he's just not adjusting his bet size according to the ranges he wants to represent. And that's a leak he has. It's obviously not a leak that you can exploit in a crazy sense, like, oh, he just bets too small so I can, like, he's obviously not min betting or constantly over betting, which would be pretty bad. He's not like nuancing correctly, if you can say that. Okay, I'm out of stuff to talk about here. I'm just gonna overbet because this has been working pretty well. Of course, with overbets, they need to work a lot more often than overbet bluffs need to work a lot more often than regular size bluffs because you risk more. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. So to say overbet bluffs are working well means he doesn't need to fold often, he needs to fold extremely often. He'll go for the overbet trick again. Actually makes sense in that spot. Because I would expect him to bet turn a lot on this texture, so I would be checking turn with a strong hand. King Jack suited, probably a call. I'm kinda dizzy right now. King Jack flops, okay, I suppose. He's so weird that he's betting all these ace highs on these boards. I should be so exploiting this by raising my pairs here, but I just never get tens or so. But that's okay. Maybe I should fold that flop. I'm not sure. Jams turn. Fine. Okay, I guess this table's gonna go 6-handed quickly, so. Oh, here goes 100, so this is obviously a jammer hand. Question is size. Not too sure. Like, I don't want to go all in directly. Just gonna make it 200. What's going on? Goes all in. Ace Jack. Yeah, whatever. There we go. Flopping something. Oh, he checks turn, and obviously do our... Like, whenever he checks after being the aggressor, I'm gonna go with a small bet sizing strategy. Here I have to call one more, I think. Just based on a texture. What's going on? And very bad river card. Okay, I'm almost closed down to just these 4 heads up plus the other table where he's at. Oh, King 9's definitely good here. Oh, look at his 2-barrel numbers. When I look at the 2-barrel in the HUD, he's dropped to 44% 2-barrel. That means he's like not 2-barreling anymore. He used to be 55 or even 60, and now he's down so much. Basically means he's entirely stopped 2-barreling. Yeah. Good old 7-3. I think he's been passiving up a bit, which is probably a good thing for him. Well, you kind of always say like Jack 9 with a flush draw. That's a pretty wet board. You don't want to like bluff this, but consider he's opening 100%. He has 7-3 offsuit and King Deuce offsuit, and if he's c-betting all those on this board, then why wouldn't I check raise when I have at least a weak gut shot? No, he just can't have a good hand that often. Double jacks again on the super deep table. That's pretty good. Calls. On this flop. Oh, actually, I don't know what to do. Well, he's been... I think if I check back, it just makes my hand so obvious that I can't even value bet on the river. On the other hand, I don't know if I can value at the flop, right? So I'm gonna check turn and then call the river bet or bet river if he checks. I think that's the line here. 10's kind of bad because he should have a bunch of 10's. She's gonna go all in. Looking at King Queen, King Jack, Queen Jack. Not really anything else he's bluffing with, right? Do have 2 jacks, so that cuts a couple combos. Like, what is he bluffing with here? I don't see it. And there we go again. Oh, I think we're pretty much even. Is he timing out? I think he's not deliberately disconnecting. I don't know. I'll pause the video and be right back if he comes back. Welcome back, and he's right back. Again, he was just away for 30 seconds, 1 minute, something like that. Actually gonna welcome him with a 4-bet, even though I'm not sure how good this is, given how little he's been folding pre-flop. Alright, I think we're gonna go another like 5 to 10 minutes. And then there should be enough hands at least to satisfy everyone. He just goes all in for 2 binds. Yeah. Well, that's not technically terrible, but just not good. Like, why do you want to overbet that bigly? It's that big. It's just not good. I mean, yeah. Basically, can't explain it much better, but it's like at a 6-max table, you're under the gun with pocket aces. You just go all in. Well, it's just a bad sizing, and of course, whichever hand you take, if you make it that big, it's just a bad sizing. And this hand, of course, was not that bad. I mean, it wasn't a huge overbet, but still way too big, in my opinion. So there's these small things that he like does badly. I mean, it's not like any huge mistakes or anything, but certainly something. I think I have an advantage. Here he was two barreling Jack 8, which is actually bottom pair plus open ender. He had no flush draw, no. Bottom pair plus open ender, which is actually a hand I would not have expected him to two barrel, given his low turn barrel frequency, or his lower turn barrel frequency. So this is a misclick, I assume it is. 240 is kind of big. Call quads? No, something like that. So he just called pocket fives pre-flop, which is obviously very standard, but he's also been 3-betting low pocket pairs, so I do want to keep that in mind. Actually, I'm considering a thin value raise on the turn here, and I think I'm actually going to go for it because it's just that he's going to 2-barrel this turn with like the queen jack, king jack, flush draws, 8, 9, 8, 7, not 8, 9, 8, 7, and then maybe 7, 6 and that stuff. So that's going to be a lot of hands that I beat and that have equity. I think I can actually check raise for value on the turn against those. And then if he does happen to have a better hand, like he had like pocket kings or a better 10, he's not going to re-raise on the turn, and he's not even going to value bet river when I check usually. So I don't really lose much more by check raising turn against a stronger mate hand. Maybe I lose a bit more, but it's not a lot more. And then but if he happens to have a draw, I win a lot more. I get a lot more money in. So like that play obviously didn't work out, but that's fine. Ooh, the ace queen is kind of difficult. I think it's a bet, but the problem is it's very difficult to be bet folding here, since he could be jamming any sort of draw on the turn, like queen jack, or just 9x of diamonds or something. I would be hard pressed to bet fold anything in my position. Now I think 444. And my bet sizing has not been optimal in this hand. I don't think I'm left with a different option than jamming on the river. I shouldn't be beat too often. Ace 3 or like sets and straights raise turn kind of often, so I think I'm good to jam. He's also toned down his 4-betting, which is probably a response to me not 3-betting too much. This queen jack hand on the top left, I'm gonna check raise turn. I think that's pretty sexy. The queen now, I'm just gonna do my standard small bet when he shows weakness. Yeah, that should work out pretty well. I mean, chances of him having a better hand here are very slim, and if he happens to have a turn to draw with like 10-9 or a flush draw or a queen 10 or any of those hands, he's gonna be betting, and then obviously raising is good against those, whether he calls or not, it doesn't matter. On the river, 10-9 gets there, other draws more or less whiff. My kicker is better than the average jack kicker, but just barely. So it would need to get him to call with like a 4 or something to make this a clear value bet, and he might be calling with a 4. But it's kind of thin. I'm not sure if the river bet is good or not. He probably had a worse jack. Yeah, he had jack 3, so I mean, yeah, that's totally a hand where I get the most value out of with that line, and that worked. I'm gonna check raise this. I do have like a heart and jack 8 makes straight if like 9-7 and 9 queen comes and queen ace, so I do have a couple backdoor straight draws, which always helps. 3-bets flop, he hasn't done this like ever, which doesn't mean much. Probably means he's actually pretty good. Well, obviously give up because I have absolutely nothing except for the back door. 9-6 should be the best hand, so I think we can value bet. Okay. Queen 9 against 100% range is probably not a 3-bet. Well, unless he's not 4-betting anymore, which, well, he started off 4-betting like a maniac. So you don't want to 4-bet. You don't want to 3-bet Queen 9 against someone who 4-bets a lot, because it's just sort of wasting your hand. Well, I do have any jack, any straight here, so I'm definitely gonna bet. And I'm not sure if I expect this to work or not, but I'm just gonna do it. He raises. That's very peculiar. That does not make much sense at all. Well, he represents a 5, of course, but he can't really raise that because I can't have a straight or a boat. And again, his size is just kind of big. Unless he somehow slow played something that got there, like maybe a jack 5, that would certainly make sense. Or if he happened to have, you know, some slow played straight or a set, that would be fine. But I don't know if his raise was good there or not. Obviously, I don't know what he had. 6, okay. His 3-bet frequency seems to be kind of standard now. 6 is going for value. 10-7. Check call or check raise, both are fine. Turn's pretty good for a check raise. I hope he somehow checked back a 7. Apparently he did not. And I'm just gonna overbet once again. He could have 9-5, I suppose, but that's probably the only way I'm beat here. Some top left, calls. I'm good very often, but not gonna get called by ace high here, do I? No, probably not. Oh, like on the river. Oh, what did he have? Top pair, okay. That would have probably called the river. Yeah, not much else to talk about in that hand. Yeah, he's just doing these somewhat small 3-bets. I mean, it's not like fish small, but it's just kind of small. Oh, we got the nuts one time. Should I check back? No, I have to make my standard size bet. Oh god, that's a pity. But therefore I can make the same bet here. And hopefully he's folding. I don't know what he's check folding on this board though. Like, King Queen doesn't check fold, so how much more disconnected can you be than 2 high cards? Maybe Ace X or King X. X being very low. Oh, he 3-bets here. I'm very inclined to 4-bet, but I don't want to call it jam. Last time he jammed, and he's probably getting an Ace Queen. I don't want to 4-bet. I do want to 4-bet because I think I'm so far ahead of his 3-bet range, but well, he just has a lot of leverage, so that sucks. I'm gonna obviously call. That's somewhat bad card for me. It's kind of funny. This card obviously hits my perceived range. When I call flop, I have an 8 or like 6-7, 6-9, 7-9. So all of these hands get helped by the turn card. So this card helps my perceived range, and because of that, he shouldn't be betting turn. And this hand within my range actually drops a lot in value. So that's why it's a bad card for my hand, but a good card for my range. Oh, now check down and hope he has ace-10. Oh, he has a 6. Yeah, he's just 3-betting all these trash hands, and I should be 4-betting more, but I'm having trouble doing that with ace-jack to stack off. What happened in the ace-queen? I'm totally not on top. Check call, okay. Oh, he checks back, and we bet river. Once again, I'm not B tier unless he has 9, 10. Really, seems like a stretch. Oh, he triples. I see his triples being kind of strong now. I don't know how far that's true, but every time I called him, he had it when he tripled. My sample size is not very big, of course, but that's what happened. Okay, guys. I think I need to wrap up this video. Has been a lot of spots, a lot of action. Has been very fast. I hope I didn't mess up too many spots or talks too incoherently. Let me know what you guys think of this. If I should record like super packed action games again, or if it was just kind of crazy, impossible to follow. Though I guess if you got until here, then you're not gonna be able to tell me it was tough to follow. Alright, see you guys.